Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
You bet. Always ready to get into it.
Awesome. So, today we're talking about something I think we've all struggled with at some point.
Uh-oh. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, you know those like classic financial mistakes? We've all made them,
Oh, yeah, we're all human.
right? So we found this list of 10 common ones. And I gotta say, some of them, well, I've definitely been there.
Yeah, some are more relatable than others, that's for sure.
Big time.
Yeah.
But hey, that's the point of this whole deep dive, right?
Exactly. Learn from the mistakes, avoid the pitfalls, all that good stuff.
Totally. We want to help everyone out there, get on a better financial path.
And honestly, it's more common than people might think. There's this study, it found that almost 70% of adults, 70%, admit to making at least one big financial mistake in the past year.
Whoa, 70%. That's a lot.
It is. And these mistakes, they can really impact everything. I mean, daily stress levels, long-term goals, you name it.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
Makes this deep dive even more important, I think. So let's jump right into it. First up on the list, overspending.
Oh, yeah, the classic. Living beyond your means.
It's so easy to do, especially with credit cards. They're everywhere.
Right. It's tempting to spend more than you're bringing in, but budgeting, it doesn't have to be this, like, scary, restrictive thing.
Yeah, no one wants to feel like they can't enjoy life a little.
Exactly. You know about the 50-30-20 rule.
50, 30, 20. Refresh my memory.
Sure. So basically, 50% of your income goes to needs. Got to cover those essentials. 30% is for wants, the fun stuff. And then the last 20%, that goes towards savings and paying down debt.
Oh, okay, I see. I kind of track everything in a spreadsheet, but honestly, it gets a little tedious.
I can imagine. This way it's like a framework, but still flexible.
Yeah, I like that. Finding what works for you, making it sustainable.
That's the key. Because if it's not sustainable, you won't stick to it.
For sure. All right, next up, something I know I've personally struggled with. Emergency funds and retirement savings.
Oh, those are big ones. And yeah, they can feel a bit daunting sometimes.
Totally. It's like, I get the importance, but when there's so many immediate things needing money.
I hear you. People often think, oh, I'll start saving for retirement later, but the power of compounding, you really got to start early.
I've heard that. Compounding. What's the simplest way to explain that?
Okay, imagine you invest just $1,000 today, right? With a 7% return, that could grow to over $7,600 in 30 years without you doing anything extra.
Wait, really? Over $7,600 from just 1,000?
Yeah, it's like a snowball rolling downhill. It just keeps getting bigger.
Wow, okay. Starting early definitely makes sense. Now, what about emergency funds?
Oh, yeah, super important. But there are different opinions on how much is enough.
Right, I've heard 3 months of living expenses, 6 months, even a full year.
It really depends on your individual situation. If your income is stable, maybe 3 to 6 months is good. But if things are less predictable, yeah, you might want a bigger cushion.
Finding that balance, security, but still enjoying life. Speaking of, gotta talk about credit cards.
Oh, those can be tricky.
Understatement. The high interest rates, it's a trap. I've been there.
That minimum payment trap is brutal. You end up paying so much in interest. Best strategy, if you can, pay the balance in full each month.
Yeah, avoid that debt spiral. But it's so easy to get caught up in that buy now, pay later mentality.
True. Think of credit cards as tools, not free money. Before you buy something, ask yourself, do I really need this right now?
Yeah, good point. Okay, on to another kind of protection, insurance.
Ah, insurance. Important, but sometimes overlooked.
I know, it feels like just another expense. Is it really that crucial to a solid financial plan?
Absolutely. It's all about mitigating risk. Health, auto, home, even life insurance. It protects you if the unexpected happens.
A safety net, basically, kind of like that emergency fund, in a way.
Exactly. It's there to cushion the blow when things go wrong.
Speaking of protection, what about protecting ourselves from investment scams? There are so many out there,
It's crazy, right? Those get-rich-quick schemes are everywhere.
and they always sound so tempting.
I know. But remember, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. A big red flag is any investment that promises super high returns with almost no risk.
So, how do we protect ourselves?
Research, 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 and don't be afraid to ask questions. If you're not sure, talk to a reputable financial advisor.
Don't be afraid to get that professional advice.
Exactly. Don't underestimate it. Whether it's taxes, estate planning, investments, a good professional can save you a lot of hassle and money in the long run.
Speaking of estate planning, that's one of those things I tend to put off, even though I know I shouldn't.
A lot of people do. They think, oh, that's just for wealthy people. But that's not true. It's about having a will, maybe a living trust, making sure your wishes are followed, preventing conflicts.
That's a really good point. Peace of mind for everyone involved. Wow, we covered a lot. Budgeting, saving, managing debt, insurance, investments, estate planning. It can feel kind of overwhelming.
It's a lot, for sure. But the main thing is, taking control of your finances, it's a journey. It's not about being perfect.
Yeah, it's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly. It's about being informed, making choices that align with your goals and values.
But this deep dive, it's a great starting point, but it doesn't end here.
Oh, definitely not. There are so many great resources out there, books, podcasts, workshops, you name it.
Never stop learning. The more you know, the more confident you'll be making those financial decisions.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to money.
Couldn't agree more. So as we wrap things up, I have a little challenge for everyone listening. Think back on what we talked about today.
See what resonated with you.
Right. What's one small step, just one, that you can take today to improve your financial well-being?
Could be setting up a budget, starting that emergency fund, talking to an advisor.
It doesn't have to be huge. Just take that first step. You'll be surprised how empowering it feels and how it sets you up for a brighter financial future.
Onwards and upwards, right?
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. We'll see you next time.
See you then.